85% of our students and 100% of the people who are in our program while they're learning use a stirrup to kick into the harness. And it just makes it so that the moment right after launch is a very positive one instead of a sort of unsettling one with a bunch of wiggling. One question ends up being how to adjust the stirrup. Here's the answer. Every harness is different, but you want to make sure that you route the stirrup around something very substantial. In this case, we went through this little loop in order to keep the speed bar and the stirrup up away from the reserve, and then we went around the main sewn attachment point for the carabiner to attach the stirrup. We generally recommend launching with the stirrup between your legs. That way you never have to fish for it or look for it. By the time you give it a push, the best test is if you have to point your toes, then the stirrup's too long. If you can't straighten your legs, then the stirrup's too short. So in this case, I'm having to point my toes. It needs to be shortened up. All right, went ahead and shortened up the stirrup, and now when I give it a push, pushes me all the way back in the harness, and I can straighten my legs just barely. Okay, another good benchmark for stirrup adjustment is where it is in relation to your knee. Ideally, it should be just below your knee. If it happens to be up above your knee, that's gonna make it so that you can't get your foot on it once you get in the air. And if it's way down on your shin and or down by your feet, then you know that it's gonna be too long and it's gonna be something that's gonna trip you up, plus not let you push all the way back into your harness. There is one other consideration. It's important to make sure that there's no way for your stirrup to hang down and foul your reserve. Same goes for your speed system. That's why there's this bit of routing here, keeps the stirrup up and away from the reserve, and that's also why there's a bungee, keeps your speed bar pulled up and no chance for it to slide around that direction. We want to talk briefly about how to adjust your speed system. It's always been a bit of a mystery to people, and you see a lot of people walking around without it adjusted at all. Here's your quick formula. Go ahead and route your speed system line through the harness, and then just position the spinnaker hook roughly that distance up and away from the carabiner. So you can figure that's, let's see, that's about 8 inches up above the carabiner. Sometimes I'll have a friend just go ahead and pinch right there. And then the next step is to just go ahead and take the speed system line, route it through your speed bar, and tie it in such a way that the speed bar is tight up against the harness while you have about 7 or 8 inches here. That will set you up to be perfectly adjusted for most risers. This is a riser from back in the 90s, and this is a current riser. And what you'll notice is that the spinnaker hook ends up in about the same place in both cases. So that's a great starting point. Obviously, there'll be slight adjustments as time goes on, but basically get 7 or 8 inches up there and then tie this guy off so that the speed bar is nice and tight here. You're set.